What is the real reason that Mama June's family ditched social media? They used to share everything and anything that happened in their lives, but that has since changed. Hello friends, I'm Mary. Welcome to my channel. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more exciting videos and updates. Thanks for joining me. Why did this happen and will it change? Keep reading for more details. Real reason Mama June's family ditched social media. Going on social media became somewhat of a job for Mama June Shannon and her children. When Pumpkin Efford was struggling financially, June told her to get on TikTok and make some cash. That was always her solution as she hustled relentlessly. Anything that she was sent was considered the next best item, and June was posting it all over. Sometimes followers questioned if she was that desperate for cash the way that she would showcase all the items she was gifted. Alana Honey Boo Boo Thompson soon learned how to be like her mother when she needed glam for her senior portrait. She used her name recognition to get clothes, makeup, and hair done to perfection. Her sister, Jessica Shannon, also posted about her life and now fiancé, Cheyenne McCant. However, fans have started to notice that the entire family has been on a social media hiatus. This has been suspicious and raised a red flag to followers, so they started a Reddit thread to inquire what was up. The OP wrote this: "Now, this is not necessarily true, as Mama June has been a fairly frequent poster. She even takes her stuff from TikTok and brings it to Instagram." Alana last posted in August 2024, while Jessica and Pumpkin both posted in April 2024. This is not as frequent as before, so what's the deal? One person suggested it had to do with their filming schedule and a new season ahead. Rough times. 2023 was not an easy year for Mama June and her girls. They had to deal with Anna Cardwell being diagnosed with stage 4 adrenal carcinoma. She then passed away in December 2023, which was all documented for Family Crisis, and a new season will air in spring 2025. So, did fellow followers agree that the lack of posting had to do with the filming schedule? It was noted that they are constantly hustling on TikTok. As for Pumpkin Efford, she got divorced over the summer. She began dating Josh Efford's cousin, Darren Kitchens, and is frequently showing off their love on Facebook, but Instagram is not her preferred medium. Mama June, the real reason her family ditched social media. June Shannon, famously known as Mama June, gained widespread recognition for her role in the hit reality TV series Here Comes Honey Boo Boo, which showcased the chaotic and colorful life of her family. The show introduced the public to June and her daughters, especially her youngest daughter, Alana Honey Boo Boo Thompson. However, in the years following their rise to fame, the family experienced numerous public challenges, including Mama June's struggles with addiction, a highly publicized relationship with convicted sex offender Gino Doak, and constant media attention. In 2024. Mama June and her family made headlines again, not for a new season of their reality show, but for their decision to ditch social media. This move came after a long period of online presence where the family's every move was scrutinized by fans, critics, and the public at large. But why did they step away from social media, especially considering how deeply entrenched in the digital space they had become? The reasons are complex and rooted in both personal and professional motivations. A need for privacy and control over their narrative. One of the main reasons for their decision to distance themselves from social media was the desire for more privacy. In an era where celebrities and public figures are constantly under the microscope, Mama June and her family found it increasingly difficult to maintain any semblance of normalcy. Over the years, they had opened up their lives for public consumption, with their reality shows offering fans a deep dive into their personal struggles and triumphs. However, as the years went on, it became clear that the constant exposure was taking a toll on them. In particular, Mama June, who had faced a series of personal setbacks, such as her battle with addiction and the breakdown of her relationship with Gino Doak, began to feel overwhelmed by the invasive nature of social media. As the family grew older, they found it more difficult to maintain boundaries between their personal lives and the public's view of them. The decision to take a step back from social media allowed them to regain control over their own story and reclaim their privacy. By stepping away, Mama June and her family could focus on living their lives without the constant fear of judgment or the pressure to perform for an online audience. Mental health and the toll of negative publicity. The impact of social media on mental health cannot be overstated, especially for celebrities who are often the target of intense scrutiny. For Mama June and her family, the constant criticism and harsh commentary were becoming increasingly difficult to cope with. Fans and detractors alike frequently weighed in on every aspect of their lives, From Mama June's weight loss journey to her controversial relationship choices, in particular, the intense backlash from the public during her time with Gino Doke, who was arrested on drug-related charges, led to a great deal of emotional stress. The negative feedback, online trolling, and harsh criticisms began to weigh heavily on her, as well as on her daughters. Mama June has spoken in the past about how the negativity online affected her self-esteem and mental well-being. Moreover, Mama June's daughters, Alana and Lauren "Pumpkin" Shannon, also felt the pressure of growing up in the public eye. Both of them had their personal lives scrutinized by fans, with many of their actions and decisions being discussed publicly. As they reached adulthood, the family collectively decided that stepping back from social media was a necessary move for their mental health. By taking a break, they hoped to shield themselves from the constant barrage of negativity and focus on healing. A focus on personal growth and family rebuilding. Over the years, Mama June's family went through a series of emotional upheavals. The most notable of these was Mama June's battle with addiction, which alienated her from her daughters for a period of time. During this challenging phase, her relationship with her children, especially with Alana, became strained. However, in the past few years, Mama June has made an effort to rebuild these relationships. Taking a break from social media provided Mama June with the space to focus on her own recovery and personal growth. Instead of chronicling her life for an audience, she could prioritize her family's healing process and focus on strengthening her bond with her daughters. This was a crucial step in her journey toward becoming a better mother and role model for her children. For Alana, who has grown into a young adult, and Pumpkin, who became a mother herself, their personal journeys also required time away from the spotlight. By distancing themselves from social media, they could avoid the temptation to constantly perform for followers and could instead focus on their own life milestones. Whether it was Alana's education, Pumpkin's motherhood, or June's personal growth, public scrutiny, and celebrity fatigue. In the world of reality TV, many families and individuals face the issue of celebrity fatigue. After years of being on TV, Mama June and her family had seen their share of ups and downs in the public eye. From their financial struggles to Mama June's dramatic weight loss journey, the family became known for their controversial and often chaotic lifestyle. While their fame had brought them significant attention, it had also opened them up to excessive scrutiny. Reality TV stars are often expected to maintain a constant level of visibility, and as Mama June's family navigated their personal crises, they found that the pressure to maintain a public persona became too much. At some point, the family simply grew tired of the constant attention and felt that they were being consumed by their roles as public figures. With the end of their most recent reality show, Mama June, From Not to Hot, the family had less of a reason to stay engaged with social media. For them, it was more important to reclaim their privacy and rediscover who they were without the label of reality TV stars hanging over them. The rise of other ventures. Aside from their public appearances on TV, Mama June and her family had also begun exploring other ventures in recent years. For Mama June, this included trying her hand at different business opportunities and personal projects. As the family grew older and their interests shifted, it became clear that social media was no longer serving as the main platform for their careers. By stepping away from social media, they were able to focus on these new ventures. This could involve everything from personal businesses to lifestyle changes that didn't require constant public interaction. As they moved forward with their careers, Mama June and her family began exploring more private, low-key options that didn't demand the same level of public exposure. A collective family decision. While Mama June may have been the most public-facing member of the family, her decision to step back from social media was not made in isolation. It was a collective decision by her daughters and other family members. Mama June had often spoken in the past about how her family's bond was tested by public pressure, but they had always tried to stick together. Pumpkin's transition into business. Pumpkin's transition from reality TV star to a more business-oriented role was pivotal in the family's post-show life. The decision to withdraw from social media was made with the understanding that it was the best course of action for their long-term happiness and well-being. By doing so, they could spend more time with each other without the constant distractions of online expectations. The family felt that by reducing their online presence, they could enjoy a sense of normalcy that had been elusive during their years in the spotlight. Conclusion. Mama June and her family's decision to distance themselves from social media in 2024 is rooted in a combination of personal growth, the need for privacy, mental health concerns, and a desire to rebuild their lives away from the public's constant gaze. After years of being under intense scrutiny and navigating personal struggles, this move marks a new chapter for the family, one where they can focus on healing, strengthening their relationships, and pursuing new ventures away from the pressures of social media. By stepping back, Mama June and her family are taking control of their narrative and deciding when and how they want to engage with the public. While this may not mean the end of their careers in the entertainment industry, it signals a shift towards a more private and balanced lifestyle. For fans who have followed their journey, it is a reminder that even public figures need space to grow and heal, and sometimes, stepping away is the best decision for all involved. Mama June's daughter, Pumpkin Efford, has allegedly scammed vendors at one of her holiday events recently. That being said, could there be a lawsuit pending based on her negligent actions and behavior? Keep reading for further details. Mama June Pumpkin scammed event vendors. Pumpkin Efford made it clear that she wanted to expand her brand when she launched her company, The Sister's Closet. She and her sister, Alana Honey Boo Boo Thompson, started on TikTok and social media. Then, Pumpkin wanted to begin attending vendor events. Unfortunately, the merchandise that she was pushing was not considered original enough, which did not sit well with her. She went on to buy a warehouse and took matters into her own hands. Followers and those who have bought things from her have not always had the best experience. She has had some shady business dealings and interesting return policies, which makes others wonder why she is still in business. Eventually, Pumpkin started doing her own events and inviting other vendors to join her. She did a Halloween event in which Mama June helped to heavily promote. They had contests and meet and greets, which some fans were really excited about. It appeared to go over very well, so Pumpkin launched a holiday one with arts and crafts, fireworks, and Santa. Vendors had to pay $75 plus a $25 deposit, which is not that bad with the name recognition accompanying it. The ad went up November 8th and the event was scheduled for December 14th. By November 26th it was canceled. Pumpkin made it clear it was canceled because she did not have enough time to make it all she had hoped. However, everyone would be refunded and it was happening later in 2025. Unfortunately, someone shared on Reddit they had been scammed by Pumpkin. They signed up for the event, but when they arrived it was vacant. It seems no one told them that it had been cancelled, nor did they receive their refund. All of the necessities. Not only did they pay for travel, but all of the necessary items for the event. This cost them well over $1,000, so the big question is, why weren't they following the Sister's Closet page for updates? Pumpkin cancelled the event well enough in advance, and if they did not get their refund as promised, they had time to dispute it. Mama June fans and followers heard how the event never happened and this vendor was left with nothing. They had some suggestions, including getting a lawyer involved. However, others did note that the event was publicly cancelled on Facebook well in advance. Therefore, the only person to blame is the vendor. As for the refund, that is not to be taken lightly. Mama June Shannon and her daughters gained national fame through the TLC reality series Here Comes Honey Boo Boo. The show focused on the eccentric lives of Mama June, her daughter Alana, Honey Boo Boo, and their colorful family. Though the show ended, the family remained a subject of public interest due to various personal struggles, including Mama June's troubled relationship with her addiction issues. As time went on, Mama June's older daughter Lauren Pumpkin Shannon became more involved in managing family matters, taking on a leadership role in both the family and its business ventures. She began to separate herself from the overshadowing personality of her younger sister, Alana, and emerged as a figure more actively engaged in the business side of the family. She began leveraging her platform and connections, taking on events, sponsorships, and other business endeavors that allowed her to take charge of the family finances and personal career. Despite the family's previous troubles, Pumpkin was able to make a name for herself as a budding entrepreneur, managing various partnerships and contracts. According to various reports, Mama June and Pumpkin were allegedly involved in a scheme that involved scamming event vendors. Vendors, ranging from caterers to event planners, claimed they were misled by the mother-daughter duo in relation to events they were promised but never paid for. The events in question were said to have been organized or at least marketed by Mama June and Pumpkin, with the expectation that vendors would be compensated for their services after completing work for these events. The reports allege that the vendors were promised a certain amount for their services but never received payment. In some instances, the vendors were left with significant debts as a result of the unpaid services, and some had already completed their obligations before realizing they would not be compensated. Several catering companies claim they provided food for events organized by Mama June and Pumpkin, only to find that the payments they were promised were never made. Event planning companies who had worked with the duo report that their deposits were never returned and full payments were never received. Musicians, DJs, and other entertainers were allegedly hired for events but left unpaid, some of them with financial losses after investing their time and resources. The vendors affected by this alleged scam have taken legal action to seek compensation for the unpaid services. Several lawsuits have been filed, with claims ranging from breach of contract to fraud. These legal proceedings are centered around the argument that Mama June and Pumpkin engaged in deceptive business practices by promising payments that they had no intention of honoring. The lawsuits also point to instances where vendors were misled about the scale and financial backing of the events. In some cases, vendors were told that the events would be large-scale, high-profile productions, leading them to invest significant time and resources. However, the events were reportedly smaller or even non-existent, leaving the vendors out of pocket. Vendors argue that they had legally binding contracts for services, which were not fulfilled by Mama June or Pumpkin. Some vendors are alleging that Mama June and Pumpkin misrepresented the events, inducing them to perform services without any intention of paying. Vendors claim that their inability to recover funds has caused significant financial harm, leading to potential lawsuits for negligence. The case has yet to go to trial, and many experts believe that the parties involved may attempt a settlement before reaching court. However, if the case does proceed to trial, it could be a lengthy and public process, bringing more attention to the family's financial dealings. The legal proceedings surrounding these lawsuits are ongoing, with multiple parties involved in the case. Vendors have been seeking compensation for their losses, and some have even looked into punitive damages due to the alleged fraud. In some cases, they are asking for payment in addition to other compensatory damages. The case has yet to go to trial, and many experts believe that the parties involved may attempt a settlement before reaching court. However, if the case does proceed to trial, it could be a lengthy and public process, bringing more attention to the family's financial dealings. The lawsuit and the allegations of scamming have already begun to affect Mama June and Pumpkin's public image. The duo had been working on rebuilding their brand after years of public scrutiny related to Mama June's addiction problems and their chaotic personal lives. The lawsuit could reverse any progress they've made and tarnish their reputation in the public eye, particularly among fans who supported them through their struggles. The media attention around the lawsuit has led to increased negative coverage of their personal and professional lives. Even if the case is settled out of court, the allegations could remain in the public domain, impacting future business dealings. The family is heavily involved in business ventures like event promotion, public appearances, and sponsored content. The lawsuit could potentially damage their ability to secure these types of deals moving forward. If vendors and partners become wary of engaging with them due to reputational concerns, it could limit Mama June and Pumpkin's future opportunities. Pumpkin, who had started taking on a more prominent business role, may see a decline in her ability to secure business contracts and endorsements if the allegations of scamming are proven true. She has worked hard to establish herself as an independent businesswoman, and this lawsuit threatens to undo much of that work.